My name is Emily, and I am 22 years old. I grew up in a small town where life was simple, and dreams were big. I always imagined my future filled with love and happiness, just like the stories I read in books. But life had other plans for me. It all started when my parents told me they had found a perfect match for me. His name was James. He was well educated, had a good job, and came from a respected family. Everyone said he was kind and responsible. Everything a girl's parents would want in a son-in-law. But there was one problem. I didn't love him. I had never even spoken to him before. How could I marry someone I barely knew? My heart was never in this marriage, but my parents believed it was the best decision for me. They said love would come with time, that James would be a good husband, and that I would be happy. At first, I refused. I told them I wasn't ready. I told them I wanted to choose my own partner. But they kept convincing me. My mother said, "He will take care of you, Emily. He is a good man." My father told me, love isn't always at first sight. Sometimes it grows after marriage. James himself tried to convince me. He said, "I know this isn't what you wanted, but I promise to always respect you. I will do everything I can to make you happy." He was calm, understanding, and patient. After days of pressure, I finally gave in. I agreed to marry him, not because I loved him, but because I didn't want to disappoint my parents. My wedding day felt like a blur. Everyone around me was happy, but I wasn't. I smiled for pictures, I said my vows, and I played the role of a joyful bride. But inside, I felt empty. James, on the other hand, looked at me with so much hope. He was trying to make this work, and I could see the kindness in his eyes. But I couldn't force myself to feel the same way. After the wedding, we moved into a small apartment. James did everything to make me comfortable. He asked about my likes and dislikes. He cooked my favorite meals. He never forced me to talk or act like the perfect wife. He would leave sweet notes for me before going to work. He would bring me flowers, even when I didn't ask for them. He tried so hard to make me happy, but I wasn't. I couldn't feel anything for him. Every time he smiled at me, I felt guilty. Every time he tried to make me laugh, I felt sad. He was a good man, but my heart refused to accept this marriage. One night, after months of silence between us, James finally spoke. "Emily, I know you are unhappy," he said softly. "I can see it in your eyes, and I don't want you to feel trapped." Tears welled up in my eyes. I had been so focused on my own feelings that I never thought about how much this was hurting him too. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "You have done everything to make this work, but I just don't feel the same way." He nodded, his face calm but sad. "I never wanted to force you into this. I only wanted to give us a chance." For the first time, I saw how much he had been holding in. He wasn't just a husband trying to make his wife happy. He was a man who had feelings too. As days passed, I started seeing James differently. I noticed how he always waited for me before dinner, even when he was starving. I noticed how he stayed up late just to make sure I was okay. I noticed how he gave me space, but never stopped caring. Love isn't always fireworks and grand gestures. Sometimes love is quiet. It's patience, it's kindness. It's choosing to stay even when things are hard. Maybe I was wrong about James. Maybe I was so caught up in my own fears that I never saw the love standing right in front of me. And maybe, just maybe, love could still find its way into my heart.